Bicycle frame steering tubes come in a couple different sizes. At Bicycle Designer we carry the Springer fork steering tube, which is 7.5 inches long from the top to the base where the bearing sits, and then it has this area which is threaded, and this can be cut down to the size that you need. Most cruisers have this size, 7.5 inches, but lowriders use a 5.5 inch steering tube. The same steering tube, just cut down 2 inches. The outer diameter of this steering tube is 1 inch. That would be this measurement. The inner diameter, right here where the stem will go in, the inner diameter is 22.2 millimeter, or 7/8 of an inch. So to demonstrate how the stem works, whether we're using a 21.1 millimeter stem or a 22.2 millimeter stem, both are going to fit into this steering tube. Taking the 22.2 millimeter, I'll just put it into the hole here. That fits nicely, as you can see. And then same with the 21.1 millimeter. Take and I'll put that in there. Goes in nicely as well. It's a little bit difficult. Okay, and there's a little bit of play in there, but that's okay. When we put the top cap on, all that play goes away. So now let's look at the top caps. Here's the 22.2 millimeter top cap of the headset, and the 21.1 millimeter top cap for the same headset. The only difference in both headsets is the aperture of the top cap. In one case, the aperture is 22.2 millimeter, and in the other case, the aperture of the top cap is 21.1 millimeter. Both fit right onto the steering tube. Let me screw on. And here's the 21.1 millimeter. Now I can take the 21.1 millimeter stem and put it in. There you have it, nice and tight. Takes care of that gap. Then I'll remove this top cap. And I'll put on the 22.2 millimeter top cap. And then take the 22.2 millimeter stem and place it into the steering tube. There you have a nice snug fit. Okay, now we're going to begin by picking up the Springer fork and the steering tube. Now we're going to take the steering tube and slip it up into the head tube of our frame. Okay, go ahead. Okay, next we just slip on the top bearing with the balls facing down. Go ahead. Okay, and now we start putting on our hardware. This is, let me see that. This is the bearing seal. Okay, that's a nice fit. Now the next piece of hardware. Okay. Okay. And now the next step is taking the fork ring and slipping it on over the steering tube. Alright, go ahead. Okay, and then take our next piece of hardware, which is the top cap. Okay, and screw that on. Now we're just going to tighten down the, go ahead, top cap with the crescent wrench. Get it nice and snug. Upgrade your bicycle today at bicycledesigner.com.